Carolina.
Hey DJ, you know who you sound like right now? Going into our next topic, Kwame Brown. You
Oh,
out there just wilding.
shout out to
OG,
the
triple OG.
Give him respect. Salute that
shout
man.
out to the
Salute him.
GOAT. Shout out to the GOAT. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I was a victim of Kwame Brownness. I was a
Mm.
victim. Let me explain myself. If you would have asked me before Kwame Brown went on these rants, if you would have asked me about Kwame Brown, you know what I would have said? He's a bona fide scrub. That's exactly what I would have said. Just like Stephen A. Because Stephen A. Smith taught me that. Stephen A. Smith taught me that Kwame Brown was a bona fide scrub. And then when you go back, when you listen to everything that this man is saying, and then when you go back and look at all the footage,
Yeah,
it
you
makes
wouldn't
a
have
lot
said
of
that in his
sense.
presence.
Like, bro, it makes a
Hell
lot of
no.
sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like somebody was out there to make it to where this man never looked successful, bruh. So and then when you hear the reason why, or at least his reason why, is because they didn't want high school athletes to look like they were dominating because they didn't want any more to come from high school. And bruh, it makes a lot of sense as to the stuff that he's saying.
Yeah, it could make a lot of sense if your stats didn't prove what the fuck they were saying.
No,
Like, come
no,
on, B. We
no,
not doing this. We not doing
no.
this.
All right, let me ask you a
We
question.
not doing this.
Oh, no. I'm taking the Jalen Rose route.
I
So,
was gonna bring that up.
like,
Salute to
let's be
Jalen
real.
Rose on his
Let's be
definition.
real.
Jalen Rose is a real one.
He a real
Bro,
one.
his stats is comparable to Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler just stopped getting jobs last year,
Another
2 years
bum.
ago.
Another
Yeah,
bum.
but the narrative on Tyson Chandler isn't that he's
Yes,
a bum.
no.
But no.
He's a bum.
Again,
Tyson Chandler was great. Tyson Chandler was great.
but hear me out.
Tyson Chandler was
Hear
great.
me out real
Win.
quick. Here, I'm
The
about to
Knicks,
just be
the
quiet.
Nuggets,
Be quiet.
Hell no.
Be
win.
quiet.
Defensive Player of the Year and an NBA champion.
Y'all just real quick.
Defensive Player of the Year and an NBA champion.
Real
bro.
quick. That is what
Okay.
Kwame Brown. That is his point, bro. That's really his point. Tyson Chandler in reality is also a scrub, but the narrative on him isn't that he's a scrub. The narrative on Tyson Chandler is that he's a
Listen,
champion.
he ain't no Kevin Garnett.
He's a defensive, but bro, you can listen, man. Are we really gonna
That's
sit here
what I'm
and
gonna
say that?
compare you. I'm gonna compare you to
Don't do that, bro.
other
Like,
greats that came out of high school. You
But
ain't no
you're
Kobe
move-
Bryant.
But you're talking about your opinion. Your opinion does not matter in what we're
Listen,
talking about. We're talking
it
about the
come
media.
it come down to this. There's some that come out of high school and they're great. There was a reason why they came out of high school. And then there's some that come out of high school and they're busts.
Okay, so why don't we call
They're not.
Tyson Chandler a
They're not what you thought they were going to be.
but why don't we
Kwame
call?
Brown being one of them. Tyson
we-
Chandler being one of them.
But
They're
we
not.
don't-
They didn't.
Oh, but you're missing the point. Yes, they're all bums in reality on the basketball court, but the media doesn't call Tyson Chandler a bum, and that is Kwame Brown's point. Why is he called the bum when there's others who came out of high school, Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler, who did what he did, but the narrative around them isn't that they're a bum. Tyson Chandler is known as
No.
a
Eddie
champion.
Curry get that bum title.
Okay, but
every time I see Eddie Curry,
listen,
it's never positive.
But it's not as
It's talked about as far as sports.
But it's not as talked about as Kwame Brown is. Okay, and Eddie Curry aside, why isn't Tyson Chandler considered a bum? Why isn't Tyson Chandler considered a bum? He's not.
All right, Kwame Brown wasn't even coming up in sports until this whole situation. So he wouldn't even be told. He wasn't even talked about.
But you know what? But now we have to
wasn't
look back
talked
on
about.
that, and we have to understand the difference between a bum and a bust. Kwame Brown is not a bust. Man spent 12 seasons in the NBA.
Come
He's
on,
not a
like
bust.
he's not a
Now,
bust.
the expectations. He didn't meet the expectations. So, depending on your definition, yeah, he could be a bum. But the man played 12 seasons compared to any other number one drafts or anyone else.
I'll give you that, Scores. I'll give you that.
Deeper than that, and deeper than just he played 12 years, so he's really not a bum. Like
but it's the fact that the media put that out there for so long, and us being the fans, we ran with it. Kwame was just chilling. He was living his life.
And then not only that,
you're absolutely right. And you know what I would say is, besides the media, I think he was playing next to somebody that was so great because he couldn't play to that magnitude. The perception made it look like he was a bum.
Well, I'm saying as
Because
far
think
as like,
about other players that played with Kobe. Think about Odom. Think about Ori. Think about other players that played with Kobe, and they lived up to the moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why I would say, besides the media, I would say the magnitude of playing with Kobe made it look like, because you didn't, like I said, you didn't rise to the occasion, so it made it look like you're a bum.
well, I think like he was saying on
And
YouTube.
all it made the media do was harp on that, like
Well,
magnify that.
Well, it makes you sit back and wonder. Yes, the media really did put that narrative on him, but why? His big thing is why? Why him? And that's when you have to really stop and open your eyes. It was really a bigger agenda at play, and he really made me think about something. Where did Stephen A. Smith come from? Yes, he was a Philly reporter. That's all we ever know. He was a Philly reporter, blah blah blah. But he really didn't blow up until he started like bashing Kwame Brown, like he said. Like you didn't really get your name until you start bashing me. Whose agenda? Who sent you in here to ensure that I never look successful, that I never look like I did good by the NBA when he actually did, bro. And all I'm gonna say is other number one picks that did a lot worse than what Kwame
Oh,
Brown
no,
did,
you're absolutely right. You
but
absolutely,
they're
I
not
agree
they're
with you.
not the butt of jokes. They're not the butt of jokes. And Kwame Brown been chilling this whole time. Salute to that man. And you know what's funny? They can't handle him right now. They can't handle his response. When I seen that YouTube shut him down,
Well,
YouTube shut that man down.
Now I will say
I
this:
think I think
I
I
don't like
think they
how he
also,
rolled out. I don't like how he
I think,
rolled out, but I like him speaking
yeah.
his piece. You know.
And I think, you know what I'm saying, because they have also played around each other and played together on certain situations where they know Kwame Brown. They know, like, as Joe Budden would say, they know his body. So they know he not for the play. They're not about to go back and forth, because he's the type that he might just drive down from Seattle, from wherever he's at.
Yeah. Crazy part, and it's funny because like he not exposing nothing because we all know the media is shady. We all know they got agendas and narratives. But he's actually showing like because before they did it, he said they was gonna do it on one of his videos. He said, and what they gonna do next is call me disgruntled. They're gonna call me crazy, and they're gonna call me poor, like broke. They're gonna try to say I'm broke, and I'm crying out for help. And sure enough, the very next day, Matt Barnes was like, "Oh, I can tell you just need a hug. You just need help. You're going through things." No, he's not, bro. He's just telling the truth, and his side of the truth is this. And I think it's wonderful that everybody's listening, man. I think the dude needs a podcast, and I think if he was smart, he would have a podcast coming out soon. You know?
I think the first episode he would definitely have to talk about playing with Michael Jordan and how Michael did him dirty. Like he talked about it a little bit,
Yeah,
on his IG live or YouTube. Like Michael did him dirty. And so
yeah.
I do see him a little bit different being a
Hey,
Jordan fan, but
he
you know,
wasn't the
but
first player. He
but but
wasn't the first.
but he made sure to clarify he was a young dude. He didn't understand the way things were being done back then. So now he looks back on it and he's like, you know what, y'all did me wrong, but I'm gonna stay quiet. Why? Because I'm a man about it now, and that's why I give him respect now. Like,
I love
yo,
his approach. I truly love his approach to the whole situation. Like in his heart, man, it's just like, bro, y'all have embarrassed me long enough. Like y'all really have embarrassed me long enough. And whether I was hurt by it or not, I'm gonna show y'all that y'all broke me, or y'all may have hurt me, but y'all didn't break me. And this is his response. And shout out to him
let
for
me
that.
ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a real question. If Kwame never spoke out about this, let's say on All the Smoke, where it all began, on their podcast, let's say, they were just ragging on him for a little bit and then that was it. If we never heard from Kwame, will we still have that perception of him being the biggest bust ever?
Absolutely,
Yes.
Okay.
absolutely. Because this,
Okay.
And,
like,
and and to be honest with you, I want to say, if you had to ask public opinion, it's probably still that. Even though there's a lot of people that still they'll root for the underdog,
Right.
they still recognize him as that underdog. Like, he didn't materialize into what he could have been.
Right. All right. Yeah, I'll say final note. Like he definitely wasn't a bust, He just didn't live to expectations. Now there are other
Right.
people. Maybe we could have a topic about it later on in the future. The biggest true
This
bust
Karan
in the
Butler.
NBA.
Who you say?
Karan Butler.
Nah. Tough. Hey man, we ain't gonna
All right.
we ain't gonna do Tough Juice like that. Tough Juice was a bad boy on the court.
All right.